fabric is our first element, and we have a very unexpected use today with Tammy Hahnemann.
Hi, Katie. Thank you. It's so
Sure.
great to be here.
These are some beautiful designs you brought.
Well, thank you. I love these pearls. They are cotton pearls, so a great use of fabric inside these beauties.
Yes, and so traditional pearls, I mean, of course we all love their shiny nacre, and these kind of mimic that, I think.
I think so.
There are a bunch of different colors here that you have and a variety of sizes, so you could combine these in lots of different ways.
Absolutely. And in lots of different ways in different mediums.
Well, let's take a look at some of the jewelry you brought.
Sure. We've got some knotted designs, which we will get to a little bit more in a little bit.
Okay.
And we have kumihimo.
This one?
Yeah. And
Nice.
so they're just woven in on the cording and really, I think, stand out in the design. And then there's, you can even use them in bead weaving.
So like the bracelet that you have here, I love this too. These are really beautiful and they're so complex looking, but I bet they're not as hard as I think they are.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
Very good.
Well,
and so these are some ways that you can incorporate the pearls into bead weaving, but you also have knotting ideas for us too.
Yes, I think knotting is something that definitely trips people up and they feel a little intimidated by it, but it's not hard. And so I did bring two different tools that I think make it an easy entry so that you can do a professional finish and make your pearls really stand out.
Yeah. And of course, it's not just for pearls. You could use your knotting tools with lots of different
anything.
beads.
Yes, gemstones included.
I think the most important thing is deciding the cording that you're going to use versus the whole size of your beads.
Right, and often the whole size of your beads dictates the cording that you choose. But for this, I'll use silk. You know, I think that that's a traditional method as well. And I just string up a few. I chose a complementary silk color, but you can use a contrasting silk color. You can use more traditional white if you're doing white with white.
It's nice that you have all your stuff in one place here.
Oh yes, we love that, don't we?
Definitely.
Nice and convenient. So I've got some pearls strung and I've just knotted on a clasp, very simply, just an overhand knot. And then we will get to using the knotting tool. So first up, we'll do scooch those over. We'll use this knotting tool. So the key is to create your first overhand and then repeat the same direction so that your knots all line up.
Yes, that is really important.
It's really important. So we'll just take that. And then what you're gonna do is, so I'm just going over my index finger, my middle finger, and then I'm gonna drop through that circle that I created. And then I'll pick this top strand up, and then I'll just start scooching that knot closer and closer to the pearl. Make sure it stays on the awl while I move it up into the yoke. Pull tightly, and then I'm just gonna lift the lever, and what that's doing is moving the knot closer to the pearl so it gets a nice, tight, consistent size. And so I'll slide up a new bead, and same thing, over my index finger, over the middle finger, and then, I've created this nice little opening, slide everything through. And again, pick that hook up, pull, scooch that down, pull this up over the yoke, lift.
Very good.
And repeat.
That looks great. And then I usually knot the first few knots, add a little bit of GS Hypo cement or something, and then keep going on your way.
Sure, and you could also use French wire, I think is also another traditional way. I avoided that this time. I think that also sometimes can be too fussy and it turns people from wanting to at least give this a try. And it's not necessary, you don't have to do it that way.
It's a nice touch if you want to.
Oh yes, it certainly does finish it. It hides your silk at your clasp. It helps keep it from abrading as you wear your design. So there's lots of benefits to it. So I would encourage anybody to really work it into their design, but it's not.
Don't let it hold you back.
Don't let it hold you back. Just jump in and start knotting.
Yeah, can you show us one more time, like what's happening with the yoke is the part with the V in it?
Yeah, so.
And then the awl.
So here we're gonna pull, and then I'm holding this just so it doesn't slide off the awl too soon. And I'm gonna lift, and then it is pulling that knot nice and close to the pearl.
And then you're good.
And then you're good.
Perfect. And this is gonna make a really lightweight design.
Oh my goodness.
Unlike traditional pearls, I would think cotton pearls would be a lot lighter.
Yes, definitely. All right, so you're ready to see the next knotting tool? Okay, so this guy is really fun. And again, similar in, and I'll try to do it so we can see it this way. Same thing, you wanna try to remember to knot, once you start one direction, that you continued through so it's consistent. And the awl here is gonna help with creating this opening. So I'm just kind of crisscrossing, creating that opening, passing the pearls through, slide it to the back, pull, and then I'll slide it into the yoke on this tool, give it a good pull, slide.
It's very satisfying.
Yeah, right? And also
Definitely.
do that again.
Now, do you always string all your pearls ahead of time, or do you ever use mixed shapes or sizes?
Yes to both. Yes to both. I like to string them ahead just so I'm not, you know, fussing over it. But the nice thing is when you string it on the silk, the carded silk with the needle, if you need to add more, because we started knotting at the end that doesn't have the needle,
Right.
you can add more if you need to.
More silk, you mean, or more beads, or both?
More beads.
Okay.
More beads. There we go.
So let's turn that around so we can get it from another angle.
Okay, so we'll slide up a new pearl, drop it behind, create that circle, drop it through, pass these guys to the back, get them out of the way. We'll cinch that down, pull. Then I'll slide the whole thing over into the yoke and let that also help me tighten that knot down. Pull the lever.
Pop.
There we
There
go.
it goes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's super fast. It's convenient. Both of them really do a great job.
Yeah, I feel like knotting is very meditative. You know, no matter what kind of tool you're using, just bringing the bead to the knot, tying the next one, keep going.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, you have to work in the same direction. You know, it is very soothing, I think.
I think so. And it's really a very professional finish. It's something, it's classic. You can create a classic design.
Right.
I know some people have made a business out of repair because you have, you know, an old strand that broke and you want to restring it, but the pearls are really valuable.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why partly why pearls are so expensive traditionally, is because they have this knotting technique.
Yeah.
So it's neat to be able to take that back and use it on any type of beads that you want.
Any type of bead.
Is there a maximum or a minimum to the size of beads that you use with tools like these?
Some of the tools do better with larger beads than others.
Because they're easier to manipulate?
Yeah, yeah.
I like the idea of spacing the beads out too. You know, you can create tin cup designs that have this little space in between.
I think that's awesome.
Those are fun.
So I'm just going to thread this back on. The clasp
Okay.
came off. So like you were saying with some glue, I would definitely add some glue.
So you'll just make an overhand or square type knot here?
Yeah, exactly. And then you would do the same thing. Once you have enough for a bracelet, I would cut the, thank you.
You're welcome.
I would cut the end. I'll move out here. I tend to work like...
Me too.
It's like a comfort zone or something.
Definitely.
And so the nice thing is once you cut this free, you still have the needle left on your thread from all the you know, all the silk that's left over. Now you can just start over.
Right, so you can card that back up and use it for another project later.
Exactly. All right, and so then what I'll do is I'll add the half of the clasp and then just knot that on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, now that we know how to do knotting, let's take a look at some of these knotted designs.
Okay, great.
These are really beautiful, and I love the luster of the pearls and how they really catch the light.
They're so beautiful. The
They are.
colors, the iridescent on the purple. I think the white is just so fabulous, and to see it in the design the way it is. And I have to say, some of these designs are not made by me. They were made by some really talented designers who...
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good to have friends.
It's good to have talented friends,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
This one, the tin cup design is really special, I think.
Yeah.
It became popular a long time ago, and it's still popular.
It's still popular.
It's a great wedding design, but I love the way you freshened it up with the contemporary colors.
I think the silk makes a difference in that one. You have the really dark silk, and then in the one above it, you've got that light blue in there with the light brown. I think that's a different approach.
Yeah, that definitely, I think it makes it pop,
Yeah.
you know, in a different
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And it maybe makes it go with your outfit differently.
Correct.
Yeah. And the silk, you know, comes in so many different colors, and so do the pearls, so you can really let your imagination run wild.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, these are beautiful. This white one especially reminds me of a trip down the aisle.
Oh,
It's
love
really
it.
pretty.
Love it, love it, love it. One last tip, if I can throw that in there.
Sure.
If you need to enlarge the hole on these cotton pearls, a simple awl will help open up that hole.
Okay.
So no reaming is necessary. This is the only reaming you would need to do. You don't need to
Perfect.
get out a drill, you don't need water, you just kind of enlarge it.
Yeah, that's really handy.
Yeah, wanted to make sure to mention that.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. These are some really great ideas, and I'm glad that we brought back pearl knotting because it is fun. And these cotton pearls are such a great fit for our texture theme today.